different being in front of the camera, huh?
Yeah.
Should have seen us during our music video.
No, you shouldn't have.
I'm glad.
Roll the intro. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 26 of the Amateur Hour Podcast, the most mediocre podcast, giving you the most mediocre entertainment. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. You might hear glimpses of his work, or actually seen glimpses of his work, such as the man behind the camera, or even perhaps see one of his dozen videos, one of his dozen movie reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Brooklyn's very own film prodigy, director Elijah Butler.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for hopping on with us, man.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Director Elijah. I love the hat, by the way.
Thank you.
And I love the shirt. Best
you,
combo
of
you could
course.
wear. What are your honest opinions about that movie?
Phenomenal.
Yeah?
Yeah. Second best movie of last year.
Of 2023?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go back to rewatch it?
I did.
How many times?
I want to say 2 more times.
2 more times?
Yeah. I plan to see it more in the future. Like, as a person who really grew to love, like, Into the Spider-Verse, the first one, like, Across the Spider-Verse, like, blew me away. And, like, I can't even imagine what they're going to do with Beyond.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be honest with you for just a second?
Of course.
I did not give what was it? Into the Spider-Verse a chance. I thought it was going to be another Sony cash grab. And it wasn't I didn't even go see it in theaters.
I didn't see it in theaters either.
I saw it when it came out on Netflix on a bored midnight.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the scene, you know the scene, right? The what's up, danger? And he jumps
Yeah.
off the bro. Oh my God, that blew
Beautifully
me
made.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to lead into the first question I have for you today. Eli, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Also, that movie sucked, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
What movie?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse? You think so?
No, I didn't. I was
Oh.
kidding. No, I love those movies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The first one obviously was like a animation achievement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from what they were able to do, and it was just such a brand new style,
Absolutely.
which I think opened the floodgates for movies like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, something like that, to kind of get a new feel for different animation types.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I've been noticing that same trend ever since Into the Spider-Verse came out. I felt like that was like a game changer for like animated films, like the beautiful mixture between like 2D and 3D animation films, like you mentioned, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Mitchells and the Machines, or Versus the Machines. Even like Netflix's recent animated movie, I don't know if you guys seen it. It's called Nimona.
No, I haven't.
These animated films have been like, there's a trend that's coming, like that's a mixture between animation being in 2D and 3D, and almost comic-y, and I kind of like it. I really like it. It's apparently more expensive to make than just ordinary 3D animation.
Yeah, for sure. But I do feel like I think Into the Spider-Verse being a success kind of let everyone have that creative ability to take like risks on different and new takes of animation. So yeah.
It sparked the creativity once again because everybody played it safe. Like as much as DreamWorks and Pixar have changed the landscape when they first came out, that was like the new standard. Yeah. Nobody was ever trying anything because to make money you have to play it safe.
For sure.
And
exactly.
I think the success that Into the Spider-Verse brought was
taking the gamble. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pushing the creative bounds of animation. I feel like it's what movie before that did that to that degree, you know?
I can't think of one.
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure there's one, but I can't think of one in recent memory.
Other than like maybe anime, but like,
oh yeah,
you know, I think that's I don't know. I'm not much in anime, but I think that's still a little bit more niche, even though it's grown a little bit to the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Anime is mainstream now.
More than what it used to be, but do you think it's to that level now?
It's mainstream now.
Yeah,
they're selling Naruto fucking shirts in Target, and
oh yeah, a lot of Naruto, Demon Slayer, One Piece, Dragon Ball,
like,
everywhere.
They're in Fortnite now, like you know, like it's mainstream now. It's actually you're not cool if you don't watch anime now.
Yeah,
it's flipped.
Yeah. You get bullied if you don't watch
Yes,
anime?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Like I get judged because I'll watch anime, but I'm very selective. Like I don't like everything. I guess I just really depends on what. Like I like Death Note, but not a lot of people
Death
like
Note's
Death Note.
good.
But not a lot of people like they don't regard it as like a great. It's too slow for some people, but for some
Right.
reason I like it. Demon Slayer animation wise is beautiful,
Oh, gorgeous.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's certain things that like it's hard to get into certain animes for me. I just don't like everyone. And I do have like coworkers that are very big weeboos. So like, oh, you haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever?
Oh, you watch it on the dubbed version?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely another thing. Like people will go back and forth like between like the English dubbed and the original language Japanese and anime. I'm more of like two worlds kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like I remember how I actually got into Demon Slayer. I actually saw the movie before the Mugen Train movie before the show. That's what got me into the show.
Okay.
Well, technically, I did see like bits of the first season before the show, but I wasn't intrigued in it until I saw the movie, and I said I want to watch the rest of the first season.
Yeah.
Like, cause like the animation is like eye popping, like, and the
It's
story is really rich. Like once I got further into the first season, I was really like starting from liking it to loving it. Like
Yeah.
it was like
It takes a little bit. It's not that like the story itself is compelling because
Yeah.
it's like just it's a strong story, but the first maybe 3-4 episodes it did take a minute to kind of get past, and then once you get past it, it's just going and you're sucked in. You know what I'm saying? It's nice.
right.
I have something to admit. I have not watched an anime.
Ever?
Really?
No. Other than a couple of episodes of Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I got my niece into Naruto. She loves it.
Yeah.
I would say if you're not gonna see anime shows, I'd recommend giving some anime movies a shot. Like
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli has like some of the greatest ever. Spirited Away is my all-time favorite.
I've heard great things about that actually.
Phenomenal. Yeah, anyone who doesn't love it, I'm really gonna question them.
Like, I don't trust nobody that don't.
Yeah.
Here, let's go ahead and rattle it back a little bit. Obviously, you have a huge appreciation when it comes to film, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to let our audience know a little bit of what it is you do? Like in your creative route, obviously you have director Elijah Butler on your hat. Is there a specific reason why you chose to wear that today, and what that means to you?
Well, if we're gonna talk about that, I'd like to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Set the stage for me, man.
So my love for film, I can't give an exact age of when it sprouted, but back when I was a little tight, like when I was a child, I would watch like nonstop. Some of my favorite films were Disney films. Like I remember when I used to live in San Diego, California, my mom would put on Aladdin on repeat, and that was like it was a film that got my eyes like glued to animation. And then I started like getting into like other forms of animation like Pixar or DreamWorks. It was really cool. And it wasn't until I got like maybe in my preteens where I started to appreciate a wide variety of animation, like more into Disney. And then I discovered Studio Ghibli. And then I got to films in general. Like I want to say 12 and 13 years old, I started getting introduced to films like Jurassic Park, Back to the Future.
The original?
Yeah, the original Jurassic Park.
Which that first one, by the way, is still holds up.
Phenomenal.
It's
That
amazing.
raptor scene, bro.
Just the movie itself.
Iconic.
Yes, absolutely iconic in every way. I got into films like that, Back to the Future, like I mentioned. And then I started diving into a little more mature titles, like because I wanted to expand my knowledge for film, and I was really intrigued. I got into the horror genre. I've been into the horror genre for a long time, but then I started getting into like action, western, sci-fi, comedy, you name it, everything. 15 or 16 years old, I saw Alien, the original. Absolutely mesmerized by that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That again. Side note: that character design of the xenomorph is probably like one of my favorite
It has to be
aesthetically
mine, too.
looking.
Looks like a sperm.
It just looks. It's literally the ultimate like killing machine.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally.
It just looks like it would kill you.
It does.
It
And
does.
I think the greatest strength that the original film has that I was able to study off of, because I love that film to death, is that it builds up. Ridley Scott practically created a monster, not just the xenomorph, but within the film, using his masterful suspense. And the characters like Ripley, Dallas, they're all there. Like, even when like the xenomorph is not on screen, a wide chunk of the movie gives you like a good amount of time to get to know the characters. And it's not really until an hour in where everyone starts getting killed off, and that's when shit starts getting real.
Yeah.
That's when
Uh-huh.
how you feel the weight of what's going on. You know?
Right.
That not to take it away from Aliens, but that's kind of like why I felt like the 2014 Godzilla movie kind of excelled in, whereas like the you don't want the monster too much on screen,
Right.
but you don't want them like not on screen at all. And I think Godzilla could have done better, but that's what Alien does really well,
Yeah.
which is you know that's here, and it's the suspense built around the fact that it's coming.
Exactly.
And you, as a character, you feel like the characters. You
Yeah.
have no idea where this thing is at.
You're fully immersed into the world.
And the suspense.
Yeah.
Like, the suspense is what gets you. So, yes, Ridley Scott was able to just capture that perfectly.
Absolutely. I
And that's
highly
one
agree.
of those timeless movies.
And Eli, you mentioned something. You said you studied the film. A question that I have for you is, when did the love and appreciation for Disney films and for things that your mom would put on for you, when did that convert into you studying and really getting this passion and wanting to get hands-on with it?
For films in general?
Yes.
Let's see. I started getting into like YouTube, like content creators, people who do movie reviews. Let's say people who like call like physical media, any type of things like that. Chris Stuckman is one that I really look up to.
Yeah.
Jeremy Johns. Yeah,
I watch him all the time.
I used to watch Chris Stuckman back in the day. His hilariosity.
His hilariosity reviews
video.
are incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those just get me back in the day, man.
Yeah.
They were my cup of tea to watch. And then you've heard that he's directing his own film, right?
Shelby Oaks. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's really nice. But continue.
Got into YouTubers. Some of the newer modern ones like Cody Leach. I still can't pronounce his last name, but he's a pretty solid YouTuber. Sean Chandler.
Sean Chandler talks about?
Yeah, Sean
Yeah,
Chandler talks
yeah.
about. He's really cool. I'm actually friends with him on social media.
Really?
Really cool guy.
That
yeah.
is crazy.
Tight.
You know, I came across one of his early videos. I think this was when he still belonged to the Mormon or Christian, whatever church he was in, and then he made the whole video about like the explosion and stuff like that. That's really cool. I don't
Yeah.
get to talk about this for a lot of people, so thank you for being on.
Let's say, I want to say when I got into 17 and 18, that's when I knew that, you know what, I want this to be like my pure passion, like film, because then I started getting into like big game directors. Like I've always been into Steven Spielberg. Like I've loved like almost everything he's made. But then I started getting into like more directors like Francis Ford Coppola, Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, David Lynch, David Fincher, Robert Zemeckis. Let's see. I know there's more. Alfred Hitchcock. Like I love like when I talk about film, like I mean everything film. It can go back to like the 1920s all the way like to the silent era to modern day. I really don't care.
Yeah.
If it's intriguing, I will literally sit through it.
That's devoted passion, man.
Yeah.
I'm what you would call like a casual viewer. Like I casually admire film.
Yeah.
Mainly things that pertain to me, but nowhere near to that capacity of what you're just describing.
Yeah. And I'm somewhere in the middle between the two. I love movies. I feel like my life is a movie. If
Yeah.
I'm being real.
Take it back to the last episode. You talking soundtrack or laugh track.
I do. No, just kidding. But so I'm somewhere in the middle where I love movies.
Yeah.
I love to divulge in them. And my same thing like you. You know, it started at a very young age. My dad introduced me to things like Terminator 2, or even the first one, Terminator. You know, all those 80s action films is what I grew up on.
Yes.
So and slasher films, which is why I
Oh,
love
yeah.
slasher films. You know, just because.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, see, I get it. Like I said, I'm somewhere in the middle.
I'm the
I do love movies, and especially the theater experience. I don't think there's anything that beats it.
Yeah, not even streaming,
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah, when I was 14 and 15, I started getting into action films myself. Terminator 1 and 2 are some of my favorite movies ever. Like I will I'm pretty sure everyone will defend them like they're their very first child.
yeah.
3 is okay, but that's when it stops for me. After 3, I just like clock out of the franchise.
I'll tolerate
Yeah.
it. I get what you're saying. 2 is probably. It's very rare. It's very rare that a movie's sequel is better than the first.
Yes.
Tell that to
And
Shrek 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's rare though. It doesn't happen as often as you think. And I think Terminator 2: Judgment Day is up there with
Yeah.
one of the best sequels of all time.
Absolutely.
Not to take away, but like what we started with, Across the Spider-Verse. I think that is a better film, and I think it made the first one even better.
Somehow the first one was amazing, and
Yeah.
somehow the second one was just slightly better.
No, but
I don't know how.
it also made the first one amazing. Like there's things that are in the first one that you're like, oh wow, and it's just such a payoff.
So where are you at now with your passion? Now that you've, kind of honed in your likes, dislikes, and you kind of picked that route. You said 18, 19, you picked that route that this is something that you want to do. Where are you at with it now?
Right now, I'm actually working on a film project.
Okay.
Called 27th Avenue. It's an indie horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
27th Ave. I live over there.
Really?
near there.
I live over there. It's scary.
Is it like a documentary or
Are you able to tell
It's
us
a
a
film
little
project.
bit? Are you able to tell us a little bit about it? Okay.
Yeah, like if you guys want to know the plot synopsis of it, I can definitely like give you like minor details.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about it's about a young man named Andre.
Okay.
He basically loves to like kick around with like his best friend Debs, who I actually play in the project.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a supporting actor role, so it's very minor.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, something ends up happening to Debs one night, like he gets killed.
Okay.
And not long after, Andre starts having these visions of the dead that roam the streets.
Okay.
These visions start to get worse, and he realizes that he has a terrible fate that apparently affects him and his new lover that he recently met before these events spiraled.
Yeah. Damn. All right, I like it. And what was the inspiration for the title?
The inspiration for the project itself.
I was just walking down the street, man, and I got the chills.
That is literally
Wait,
like
really?
the core of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we all know, ladies and gentlemen who are local to us, we all know what 27th Avenue
stands for.
Is now.
Yeah. That's literally the core of it. I used to, when I'd get off work, take the bus home. It would be like usually around the dead of night, and I'll be like, "This is atmospheric as hell. I'm gonna make a movie out of this." Yeah,
that's the best way to make it.
That's tight.
Take a bad situation and make a movie out of it. Fuck it.
That's how I solve all my problems.
Yeah.
That's how I solve all my problems.
Eli, take me back.
Yeah.
Back before you got the genius idea of creating your new film, 27th Avenue, I believe you worked on a certain project called Man Behind the Camera.
Yes.
Can you run me down a little bit of the inspiration behind that and what that film meant to you?
So this project was actually something that has been like development process stages 2 years before I actually had it released on the internet. And I wanted to make a documentary about my passion for film, but then I wanted to make a documentary about like people's passion for film, not just mine. Like even though I'm like the core director behind it, and I'm like tons of friends with like film lovers on social media, so I reached out to them and said, "Hey, would you like to be a part of my documentary?" Like on the spot, like I would get on the spot answers being like hell yeah, like absolutely. Yeah, it's incredible. Like we all came together and we made like this hour-long documentary. During my vacation in LA, I got to take some like final B-roll footage just a month before I like uploaded it on my channel. Yeah, and I'm getting like good reception off of this documentary.
No, for sure. All of the comments that I saw were very supportive. Everyone loved it. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from a creative like space. When you get that type of support off of something that's like a passion project, something that means something to you, it's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was so you said it was in development for 2 years prior to actually putting it out? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. In the development stages, I was trying to figure out a way how I could get it made, who would be willing to help me.
Yeah.
Film shooting durations and stuff like that. Like, because mostly we would do a distance. Like, they would just, like, send me the video files, and I would just edit it in post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it works. It does the job, you know?
Yeah.
But when the little bit of working with a director or, shooting, like, our little music video.
Oh, the music video?
Yeah.
Like, you want to compare a little music video to a whole...
No, what I'm saying is we were going to go that route with the process where we had actually filmed some footage on our own, and we
Yeah.
were gonna have him piece it together with the footage that he was gonna end up getting. And he was like, "Nah, we'll just get all this together."
Yeah. It just goes by to like working with other creatives, and that was actually our first and only time that we've done it to that degree. Well, alongside video and stuff, so it is very interesting. How did you think the collaborative process was?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was really helpful. It went really smoothly. When it streamed, I think there was at least 100 people viewing in the first 2 hours, which was like really impressive.
That's actually really good. That's actually really good.
That it just gets you a sense of, oh, I did something
Yeah.
right. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, going back to and not to take away from you, but we just got the tiniest glimpse of that with the music video, and we just saw it just shoot up, and you're just like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Which is still shooting up, by the way. It's gonna hit 1,000 soon. It's gonna hit fucking 1,000 views soon.
Yeah.
So we're really proud of that.
Yeah.
But no, I get you that feeling, like you said, putting all that time into something,
Right.
and people are actually like, I don't think the listeners and viewers really get, like, just having 5 people watch your stuff, is hard, and is it feels like a lot.
Absolutely.
To get anything more than that, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We get 100 views on a video, and I'm like, I can't even name 100 people, off the top of my head.
A good way that I kind of like to think about it is just think about those people in the room. If you even get, like, let's say approximately like 15
Just
views,
15 people in the same room?
15 people watching you do something. That's just crazy.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
And then I saw your quite a bit of your videos on your own YouTube channel have a couple thousand views.
Yeah.
So how does that feel?
It honestly feels like a bit nerve-wracking, but I like the reception.
Yeah?
I really do, yeah.
Do you think it keeps you going, or is there ever just like a sense of anxiousness that you have to either exceed that quality or match it?
If I'm being honest, it's a bit of both.
Uh-huh.
I eventually started moving my reviews to social media, only because I've gotten to a point where, like, videos, like, I haven't really had, like, full time to do them anymore. So I've been doing, like, film reviews on, like, my social media page, and I think it works just as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you do have a lot of active, like, followers and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and that I just find that so intriguing. Was that something that you were aiming to do, or were you just simply expressing your love for film?
I was just honestly expressing my, like, pure love for film. Ever since, like, I want to say, like, near entering adulthood, 17, 16, 18, I've been, like, super passionate about it. There was a point where I wanted to, like, temporarily get off my YouTube channel just because, like, time. And then I eventually came back, and then I eventually, like, went off again, and I was like, I want to do this on social media because I want to keep talking about film. It's what I love doing. Like, some of, like, the films that wanted me to get to, like, where I am right now, like, and to become a director, were, like, 2001: A Space Odyssey, let's say, like, Terminator 2, like you mentioned, obviously, Schindler's List, It's a Wonderful Life, The Wizard of Oz. There's a lot. Empire Strikes Back. I can keep going on and on and on. Seven, The Silence of the Lambs. The Godfather, my favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
I can literally, the first one. The second one's, like, amazing too.
The second one's
and
really good.
honestly, the third one gets a little too much hate. And I think it's because it's not as like revolutionary as the first two, but I like the
It's still
third
not
one
bad.
for what it is. Yeah.
When it comes to movies, I enjoy bad movies.
Really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, because at the end of the day, it's still someone's art.
I think it might be to the level of bad that they are. You know what I mean? If you're
For
just
sure.
bad enough to if you're bad enough to be mid, I think that's just kind of the worst kind of movies there is, because I don't know, you just sit there and I'm just like lackluster.
But that's the thing is, like, okay, like, there are some movies that are just boring. I get
Yes.
it. I
Yeah.
get
Like
it.
Morbius?
I get it. I mean, but even for, Morbius was not a good movie, but I can shut off my brain and just watch something. You know? I don't
Yeah.
have to always critique it and be like, well, this director obviously fuck this. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I think some movies, like Fast and Furious, to me, after probably like 6 and up, those are just a modern day action films now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're supposed to be outlandish.
Right. And even though I review movies on my social media, I don't consider myself a critic. I'm
Yeah.
more of a cinephile because I don't like to look at every single movie I watch from a critic's perspective. Like last year we had like the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was like one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
And it got like mixed receptions from critics.
For sure.
And like audiences loved it. Like I loved the hell out of that movie. But I also I also love watching movies like Killers of the Flower Moon, like something that's 3.5 hours long. Like
Yeah.
Like every now and then I like to like escape to like my popcorn flicks and then like films that like help me analyze and like just like dive into the world, basically, like be captivated.
Do you have to think about shutting that switch off, or do you think it's just something that comes like second nature?
Like basically, I have that mindset of like, especially when I watch trailers, I'll immediately be like, okay, I know what film I'm going into. Switch mindset, basically.
I think it's a trained thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just like I said, because for me it's been since I was a kid. Like there are just some movies that I've watched tons of times that suck, to people, and I enjoy them. And there's times where like, yes, you go into a movie and I'm expecting masterpiece or I'm expecting something. So once I saw the first Morbius trailer, I was not going in there thinking it was gonna be Endgame or Infinity War. I had a feeling it was gonna suck, so I'm taking it for what it is. Madam Web, probably gonna be meh.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go watch it, and who knows, I might have fun. That's the thing, is I feel like people don't have fun with it. You have to, at the end of the day, like it's entertainment. I love watching Sharknado because it's stupid.
It is incredibly stupid, but like
But it's a fun
Sharknado is incredible in its special ways.
Yeah.
Like like obviously, like on paper, it is a bad movie, but like sometimes that's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like not everything's gonna be Citizen Kane. Not everything's gonna be Interstellar.
Right.
You
Not
know?
everything is gonna be like Inception or something. Yeah.
So some things are just meant. It's art. Like at the end of the day, man, it's art. We put a song out. Like our song probably sucks in comparison to other people, but like
No.
But all the people that heard it, they're like, "Yo, it's catchy. It's in my head. It's a jingle." But like, is it really? Are we putting it up for the most serious of songs? No. You know what I'm saying? So like,
No,
there's
we
an
would never do that.
Like
I was going after.
I do see there is a big gap between movies that are so bad they're good to movies that are so bad that they're just bad.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like I can give you like a few examples. Like a movie that's so bad that I think is genius is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's like it's a 70s horror film. No. Okay. Stupid. Yeah. It's so stupid, but it knows what it is. And
it plays into what it is.
It's inspiring.
So, yeah.
It's inspiring. It's I don't know the perfect words for it, but like it's inspiring in the worst ways, I guess. Yeah.
It's what they show in film class and be like, hey, don't do any of this.
But we love what they tried.
Yes.
Yeah. And a movie that I find terrible.
Failing upwards is what it's called. I think that's the term.
Really?
Falling up or
failing upwards.
Yeah.
You know?
Failing upwards?
Yeah.
Yeah. A film I find really terrible is Piranha 3 Double D.
Oh,
there's
shit.
Piranha 3D and then there's 3DD.
Piranha 3 Double D?
That's what I call it, yeah. I don't like to call it Piranha 3DD. I just like to call it Piranha.
I think that's genius in itself. Piranha 3 Double D.
But like there were legit moments in the movie where I was forcefully trying not to turn it off. Just to give you an idea on how bad the movie is, there's like a sex scene in the movie, and
so bad.
There's a point where a piranha just leaps out of a woman's vagina for no reason.
Like, how long was it there?
For no reason.
When did it get
when did it get in? Like,
how does she not know? Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
Talk about smelling like fish.
Hey.
Anywho, all right, Eli. Do you want to go ahead and run me through a day-to-day life? What is it? What is it? What does the day-to-day look like for someone like you that is an inspiring film director? I'm assuming you want to make something out of it, right?
Yeah.
Walk me through that.
Yeah, day-to-day life. When it comes to film, I eat it for like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Film. I'll watch films very every now and then. I want to start doing it like more frequently, like daily. I usually do it weekly. I want to start doing it daily. There's a challenge that I'm aiming to do this year. There's this person on my Letterboxd Facebook page that broke an astounding record for how many films he watched in 2023, which is 1,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Easy.
1,000 films
a day.
1,000 films
Not a day.
in a year. Yeah, in a year.
In a year.
Jesus.
That's like 2 films, a minimum of 2 films per day.
2-3 films a day.
Oh my
yeah.
god! Imagine it's the same one.
Yeah.
It's just Piranha 3 Double D.
Yeah.
On loop.
Yeah, and I'm basically like trying to go for that so I can like keep expanding like my knowledge for film.
How do you track that?
Through my Letterboxd account.
Okay.
Yeah, it requires you to like make lists and you can rank it too.
I think I have.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those because I think like on Twitter there was a little bit where they were going through ranking the Spider-Man movies. So I made my own.
Eli, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. Can you go ahead and do me a favor in ranking the Spider-Man S tier to F tier?
S tier to F tier.
Yes.
Personally, I don't think there's a terrible one, but I do have a least favorite.
Uh-huh.
My favorite is still like
That's
Spider-Man
a smart
2.
man right there. That's how you should approach movie judging.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a critic.
I know.
He's just,
but that's a note for you guys out there.
But yeah, my favorite to this day is still Spider-Man 2. Like Sam Raimi's movies had a huge impact on me. Like I think 1 and 2 are some of the best comic book movies ever made, and 3 is quite underrated.
It is severely,
yes.
heavily.
Yes.
That's the one I can put on the most. Like
Yes.
that's the
3?
one to me. Yep, 3 I can put on in the background and I can clean. Or like if it's on TV, I always stop to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man 2 doesn't do that for me because I have to. It's such a good movie that I have to invest energy. Whereas the Spider-Man 3, I could just watch it.
That is a great analysis of that movie. No,
Yeah.
yeah, Spider-Man 2, you have to devote the thing for you to feel the beats of the movie.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
it's so impactful.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the rewatch value out of Spider-Man 3 comes out of enjoyment, while like in Spider-Man 2 and 1, you get completely invested in the stories and the characters. Like the first 2 movies are more so of, even some elements of the third one. The whole trilogy as a whole is like revolves around Peter Parker. It's a film about finding yourself, the struggles of learning responsibilities and to help other people. Like it's it's not just like an action movie, even though like it's obviously a blockbuster film. Like it's based off of Marvel property, Marvel's like biggest superhero icon. But it's a lot more than that, and that's why I love it. I still think it's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
I think those kind of movies make the best superhero movies when they're not just solely a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, one of my favorites is Captain America, the second one specifically, Sins of War, where it's like a spy
Winter
thriller.
Soldier. Yeah, it's a spy.
Thriller, and then it's like a government commentary,
Espionage,
espionage type thing, and it's amazing.
So Civil War is actually my favorite MCU movie.
Oh man, that when that came out, there's nothing. I feel like my 2 dads were fighting.
Yeah.
No, I picked the side really easy, unfortunately.
What side were you on?
Cap.
Really?
Yeah.
Cap.
Cap.
Well, yeah. It was just depending on where I am in life, you know.
I don't agree with Cap hiding that Bucky information, but that had nothing to do with the argument.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that had nothing to do. That was a personal thing. The argument, Cap was right. You cannot put the same government that wants to control the Avengers was throwing a nuke at New York because aliens were there.
Yeah.
So,
But then you also understand the difficult thing is that you also understand Tony's side of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of like, there is a danger with letting heroes stay like as vigilant as they are.
Right.
There's no accountability there. You know what I mean?
a little bit.
But back to the ranking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
Back to
and
the
back-
Spider-Man. Back to the Spider-Man.
And speaking of Spider-Man, Civil War was actually like the movie that introduced Tom Holland's Spider-Man. In a
Yes.
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie. Sam Raimi's a phenomenal director. I'll always love his work. Amazing guy. I still to this day can't believe I got to meet him.
You met the man.
Yeah.
Yeah?
At Texas Frightmare.
What was the experience like?
I got to ask him like multiple questions. And tell him my big love for the Evil Dead and Spider-Man movies, and that I started watching the Evil Dead movies at 14, which is a pretty young age considering like the original has like an NC-17 rating.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy. But yeah, he really seemed to appreciate it, and the fact that I told him that I'm a defender of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really happy about that.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, now moving on to what would you give the ranking on the TASM films? The Amazing Spider-Man, the Mark Webb ones.
Well, just
Mark
rank them.
Webb.
Just rank them all.
Yeah.
Just real quick, pop it off. What's number one to you? Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
'Kay.
Second one, Across the Spider-Verse. It's neck and neck between Across and Into the Spider-Verse.
I just can't give. There's something about me that just can't give animation the full credit. You know what I'm saying?
You're part of the problem.
Compared to live action, though, is what I'm saying. Like it's just hard for me. Like Spider-Man 2, I think would be greater than Across the Spider-Verse. Even though Across the Spider-Verse probably is my more favorite.
Yeah. I do think Across is like neck and neck with Spider-Man 2 and in terms of being just as good. The problem is we've all been like exposed to like Sam Raimi's films for so long. Like the first film came out like just 2 weeks before I was born. Yeah, so like
I saw that film in theaters, by the way.
Lucky. Yeah, I
You
saw
saw
the
the
third one in
first
theaters.
Spider-Man in theaters?
Yeah. I remember the
Jesus.
trailer when it came out. I was like,
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about this.
Yeah.
The Twin Tower trailer,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Which
yeah.
was crazy.
that was wild. Yeah.
He
When
stopped the plane.
I think I went to Arrowhead.
Arrowhead?
I think I went to, or test. I don't know where I was at. Honestly, it was
For
a big ass
what-
theater to watch it.
Watching the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then after I was trying to climb up walls.
Yeah. I mean, we all were. I jumped off the roof trying to up and away web.
That's so bad.
You know what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first, the only one of the Raimi trilogy that I've watched was obviously 3 because it came out in like
Seven.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
yeah. And that, I went to go watch that.
My third one, this one was difficult. This one was really difficult. And I don't know if this is due to recency bias, but like my theater went absolute ape shit when I went to see this opening night with my buddy. I was struggling between Spider-Man 1 and No Way Home. So I'm going to go with No Way Home for my third.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like especially seeing like Willem Dafoe again. Like we live in a world where we get to see like freaking Willem Dafoe back on screen, and like all of like the other like classic like Spider-Man villains too, like
and
Doc Ock, Lizard, freaking.
But just him reprising one of his most
Iconic
iconic
roles.
roles
Yeah.
And
that
then-
like we thought the story was done. You know, like you last time he was he was a Green Goblin. He made maybe a very quick appearance in 3 as the ghost
As the
Yeah.
voice, yeah.
So
And then even that, trumping his previous performances in that movie. Oh my God! Every time Willem Dafoe was on the screen, he stole the show.
Oh, yeah,
which was
100%.
crazy. In a film full of great actors and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
Oh,
legendary
yes.
people.
And Willem Dafoe's been like acting for a long time, so like I have heavy respect for him. Like he's definitely like one of my all-time favorite actors. Like definitely a professional one. And No Way Home was like definitely one of my favorite cinematic experiences. And I know some people will say it relies on like nostalgia too much, and that may be true. But like the film has heart, and there was no secret about the 3 Spider-Mans being in the movie, especially due to the leaks. We saw it coming.
Oh,
The 3 Spider-Men.
I wanna go ahead and give myself props that I kept
Yeah.
myself in the dark for that. I heard the little whispers, but I went into the film and like, okay, it's not that likely. And when I saw it, oh my God, the best night of my life.
Especially since the Brazilian trailer of the movie showed Lizard get hit by something that's clearly invisible.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something to add on to?
No, that night was magical, man.
It was.
Seeing that in theaters, that the crowd, bro. We had people in the back dressed as Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like people were dressed as Spider-Man, taking pictures and doing all types of shit before.
I went on the Thursday premiere, like
Yeah,
before. So
Yeah, we
I
did
think I
too.
got off work and went.
yeah. So those premieres, I love them, especially with like superhero movies, because it's only like usually
The
the
dedicated,
the
yeah.
dedicated people, and it was
You got all the casual fake fans on Saturday, you know.
Saturday, Sunday, and then the when it comes on like the next week, it's just the people that didn't get to see it, and it kind of.
It's the people who don't
Yeah.
care at all.
But it goes back to what you were saying about like movie theater experience,
Right.
That it's amazing.
It's grand. It really is. So let's see. First, so I'm on my 5th, I think, right now.
4th.
So I ranked 2 Across, Into, and No Way Home.
Oh, No Way Home was your
Yeah, it
fourth?
was my 4th.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think so. Yeah.
What's after that?
5th, I said it was neck and neck, so 5th is Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still a very important film to me. This is obviously my introduction to Tobey Maguire when I was younger, and like not just this film, but like he's a phenomenal actor in general. Like, have you guys seen Brothers?
Yeah,
He
No.
gives his
Yeah.
all in that freaking
Yeah.
movie. Like,
that one's wild. I liked him in The Great Gatsby.
yes, The Great Gatsby. He's
The
really good in
one
that.
it's slipping my mind. The one that's in black and white. when they go into the TV.
Oh, I forgot the title of the movie.
That was right before.
I've seen it,
That was
though.
right before Spider-Man.
Right before Spider-Man.
But it's pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been doing it for a while.
Robbie, check for us.
Yeah, go ahead, Robbie. Can you do that for us? So okay, so that's one. So then what's next?
6. I want to say Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's solid.
Okay.
This is where the first 5 are the Spider-Man movies that I consider really great.
Yeah.
Like really great. This is like the good bar.
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home, I don't love it, but it is pretty solid, especially since like people in this day and age shit on Tom Holland, but I think he's great. And
No,
like Zendaya, they have really like great chemistry. I don't know much about their outside life, but I don't want to dive deep into that. But like, the movie was really great, especially like the introduction to Mysterio in
Yeah.
the MCU. Yeah,
Mysterio
that was pretty.
actually really good.
I
Like, a
pray to
good
God that he comes back in some way.
I almost thought they would somehow resurrect him for No Way Home, because like I was thinking to myself, if they're bringing the Sinister Six, who's going to be the 6th member? Like I was thinking it would be either him or Venom.
I think Venom's gonna help it. I think Venom's gonna end up helping him more than anything.
But I think he has to, with the whole Secret Wars and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going based on the comics, I mean, that's kind of like the whole thing that happened in there.
So-
But back to the ranking. You said Far From Home as 5th?
6
Or 6th?
6, yeah. The first 5 were.
How many are there? 9?
There's quite a bit.
No, there's just
We're going based on just Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
So there's first 3 trilogy, Mark Webb, and 3. It's 8.
there's 10. 'Cause
There
the
probably
two
is
Miles.
9, 10.
Miles.
Yeah.
Then
So
there's
you're on
10.
6. All right, what's next?
All right. So the ones that I ranked so far in order were Spider-Man 2, Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. The 4th was No Way Home, and the 5th one was
Far From Home?
Spider-Man 1.
The
6th
sorry.
one was Far From Home.
Yes.
7th is Homecoming.
Okay.
Yeah, Homecoming is pretty good. I slightly like it lesser than Far From Home. Like the film could have it has potential. I feel like it could have been a better introduction to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but for what it was, I thought it was enjoyable enough. Like I liked seeing best part of the movie, easily Michael Keaton
Yeah, I was
as
gonna
the
say,
Vulture.
Vulture was
Yeah.
the best part of the movie for sure.
That scene where he goes to pick up.
Oh yeah, the car scene.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, the car scene is magnificent, but when he goes to pick up the Tinder date, the homecoming date, I downloaded the wrong version.
Interesting.
No, but when he goes to pick up his homecoming date, and it's Michael Keaton that opens the door,
Yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah. Yep.
and the car scene is
And the car scene
great.
is intense
I could-
as shit.
Yeah, it
you should
is.
do that more,
That's
man.
brutal.
When a villain knows you're you're their op, it's
Yeah.
scary, and you don't know, like how, like when the same thing with Willem Dafoe's with Green Goblin when Peter
Right.
had the scratch on him
He's like,
and it just clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
shit.
god, the tension. But yeah, okay.
how'd you get that?
And the next one, I know it's low on the list, but I swear to God, I do not hate this movie, not even one bit. I actually like it. I really do. And I think people need to stop going overboard on hating it. Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 It's enjoyable enough. I remember when I first saw it, some aspects of it were going to be predictable. Obviously, Harry getting back at Peter.
Yeah,
Because, he obviously, thinks that he was responsible for Osborn's death. But I kind of like how in the climax, the character has, a redemption.
Yeah.
And, the climax in the third movie is honestly, kind of brutal. With Sandman and Venom
they were
hamming
whooping
freaking
his
Peter
ass.
Parker.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Harry dies.
Yeah, well, I saw that coming though.
Mary Jane's annoying. That's the only. That's the
Oh,
only thing
yeah.
I don't like about
The trilogy.
The trilogy is just they could have some. I think Kirsten Dunst is fine with the act, the look or whatever for what it is. I just didn't like her being so naggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't
she
know.
cheats a lot. You notice that? She's cheated on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Literally.
Yeah.
It's not. It's and then she doesn't She doesn't start to like Peter until until she finds out he's Spider-Man or type thing like that.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
She has a thing for Spider-Man, and then she's for some reason, Pete is intertwined with that.
Yeah.
And she's just. That's like daddy issues on display, though. It's kind of beautiful in its own thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But going back
But
to
yes,
the thing,
it's really brutal that third act, but it's very satisfying.
It is. The last two, these are the only two left, I think, right?
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
oh man, it breaks my heart.
breaks my heart, man.
I love Andrew Garfield. Do not get me wrong. I think he's great as Spider-Man. Amazing. It's just like I think the first one is all right. Like I don't think it's terrible. Second one is just kind of mediocre.
Uh-huh.
But I don't. Out of everything I ranked, I don't think there's a terrible one.
Yeah.
Like they're consistent.
Andrew, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my favorite out of the bunch.
Yes, and I would totally be up to see like Andrew Garfield like reprise his role.
I needed him. I just want him to have a third one. I want him to die. Like I'm cool with him dying.
Yeah, especially since the character clearly dies in the comics.
Like
we
cool
haven't
with
seen a cinematic version of Spider-Man yet that has died.
That's what I'm saying.
We have not seen a cinematic, mature Spider-Man. We have yet to see like Professor Peter. You know, like when he's a college professor and everything. I think Andrew would fit that model so good.
Yeah,
and I want him to die. Not because I actually want him to die, but like you said, we haven't seen any addition of Spider-Man dying.
Imagine the potentials for Miles Morales because he technically dies in the comics too.
Yeah,
Miles.
Yeah, he dies in the comics.
I'm not too caught up with Miles' his solo run after, you know.
And it would be a perfect way to introduce Miles into the universe and to take over. It's perfect. They need to do it. I don't know what they're doing.
And they technically hinted, like literally No Way Home hinted that Miles could come in the MCU sometime.
Yeah, I mean with the uncle, and then I think in one of is it No Way Home or Far From Home? Whenever Pete's in the apartment, you can hear one of the ladies calling for Miles in the background. Like if you're reading the subtitles. And
is it No Way Home?
Yeah, I think it was No Way Home, right? Yeah, I don't know. I saw TikTok about it.
I think so.
That's how we get our knowledge.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
I think maybe across. Was there across the Spider-Verse?
From
Gwen? Was that Gwen's?
No, he's saying that in one of the live action movies, they threw that in there very faintly.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's in No Way Home when Peter's sitting in his apartment at the end.
Yeah.
And I think there's some neighbor talking about So all right, okay. So we got all 10 Spider-Mans ranked. Nice. It hurt my soul a little bit, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm going solely based off the performance of it too. You know, like screenwriting could have been a little better, but like the performances is just.
I love how animated he is. You know, because
that's what I'm saying.
This is pre like CGI goggles and everything. You can just tell his emotions.
You can tell. The reason why I like it so much is because Andrew Garfield is such a great actor that he doesn't need the CGI eyes and things to exude emotion through his suit.
Right.
All of the Spider-Mans are pretty standard. Even when Toby was Spider-Man, everything he did was very still.
Right.
He'd be like, Goblin! And he's just still, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a animated body type of acting.
That's why they always took the mask off somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas Andrew, I think he just can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I really do.
I don't know what it is.
Mine bounces. I have a lot of love. I think it's nostalgia driven just because that's just the favorite film that I went to go see by my own. But the first Tazo movie, I go on and on about it. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into another question, Eli.
Okay.
Can you please explain to me the process of what it is to create like one of your films or one of your projects? Paint me a picture of like, how does it come by? Like visually, a story standpoint.
Well, you see, with 27th Avenue, a project that we're currently working on right now, I have like a really like inspired group of people who want to be dedicated to this project. We literally have our own group chats. We have certain dates on when I want like certain scenes filmed. We're currently filming with like not one but like multiple iPhone like cinematic lenses. Yeah, and we're filming in different locations in Phoenix and Glendale. I remember when I finished the script, I first read it to Andres, who is my best friend. He's also going to be the main character in the project. He loved it. He really did. Yeah. And we did a few more adjustments on it. And my manager, my hiring manager, who's also my best friend, thought it was highly disturbing, like very disturbing. So I'm excited to go forward with this, especially since we have plans to make it graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that shit.
No,
like it.
gory things are great. But let's rattle it back. How did you get your like your full inspiration? I know you mentioned the fact that you were taking the bus one day, right?
Yes.
But like, how does translate it to me? How does one thought go into I want to make a movie about this, and how do you make it come to life?
Well, that's a great question. Yes, that was my main inspiration. I literally got off work one night. Well, multiple nights I'd come off work and just like sit at a bus stop, and it would be on 27th and Indian School. So I'd look around the area and I'd be like, this is atmospheric. I have some ideas I want to do. So, and I told Andreas about the concept of 27th Avenue. Like, I wanted it to be some kind of horror project, but it took me like 2 months to come up with a story. And finally, when I did come up with a story, the first thing I did was text him. I was like, Andreas, I got a story. This is genius. You got to listen to this.
That's how I'm like that with him all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And basically, it falls into multiple genres. It's basically horror, crime, drama, thriller, mystery. Not
musical. Just breaks into song.
Breaks into song at the end.
Somebody dies.
The
He's
last
like,
5 minutes.
Why did he have to go?
And it's a ghost story.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a ghost story.
So is it just like sleepless nights that you encounter on trying to build this world, build this film? Or is it more like a passive thing as things are going on in your life you're writing about? Or just, I'm just really intrigued on what the film process is like of writing a whole script.
So writing the script actually took me under a month to complete.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I wanted to focus on basically practically nothing but the script. And I felt like if I did that, I can get it done quickly.
Yeah.
And yes, I did spend nights doing the script. And the script has, I want to say, like maybe 15,000 words in it. Yeah. It's duration. The film might be around like 2 hours and 4 minutes estimated. And I went through a few rewrites, removing a few character points, small things that I thought would be a little too much. And then when I said, this is good, this is really good, I placed it as my draft and I had Andres read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had Risa read it. Literally had multiple people read it. And responses have been very positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not your first project that you've been working on.
Yeah.
So what is the differentiating factor in writing a script for 27th Avenue as something like The Inner, which was I believe your first dive into doing a project, right?
Well, The Inner was inspired by like found footage flicks.
Yeah.
Andres has his own YouTube channel. It's AC Studio. Subscribe. And
that's a great way to plug. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. AC Studios Entertainment. Shout out to you, Andres.
Don't worry,
Love you, man.
We're bleeping that out.
I did not forget about you, Andres. Love you, man. He made a few found footage shorts, and I wanted to make something similar, kind of a short, like maybe like an hour-long project. And it's about this guy who sets up like these like projects, video projects, and sends them out to the public. And I've got good responses from that. I really did. But I feel like I got I don't know. I want to say I got better responses from Man Behind the Camera, but The Inner is almost like at 5,000 views right now. Maybe at 5,000 as we're speaking.
That's an accomplishment in its own, man.
I remember last checking it had 92 likes on YouTube, and it's only an hour-long project.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and people are like really liking it.
So, perfect. I know we've got to get to know you on a creative side.
Okay.
Right now, I just wanted to ask a couple questions just to kind of get to know you. Some of the viewers would probably also want to know just a couple of things more, maybe a little more personal.
All right.
So my first question to you, Eli, is who is Eli? Right? Who are you?
Well, I'm a person of wisdom, I would say. I'm like creative, passionate. I come from like a borough neighborhood, like way back in like May 2002 in Brooklyn, New York. I've been living there from 2002 to 2006, where I moved to San Diego, California. And I lived there half of my life with my grandmother, my two aunts, my uncle, my mom, and my sister was born in California too. Okay. And then when we moved here in Phoenix in 2014, that's when I had another sibling in 2016. He's my brother. He's very adorable. His name is Mayan. Mm-hmm. And my sister, who's in elementary right now, her name's Maya.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, I have like a deep love for my family.
No, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. How many siblings do you have in total?
2.
But it's still like a big family. Like is
Yeah,
it like,
I
okay.
do have a big family. I want to say like half of my other family is in New York.
Hey, I'm in New York, the Bronx.
Hey, we're podcasting here.
Hey, we're podcasting. Hey,
Yeah.
bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, egg, and
Hey,
cheese.
with the bev. With the bev. All right, my bad.
Man, no, you're good. That's funny as hell.
How many years did you spend in New York?
4, I want to say. I last visited on my birthday in 2015 with my aunt. We stayed at my my other aunt's place. I have like multiple aunts.
Yeah.
And my cousin, we got to see my cousin. My uncle June, love you June, by the way. Like I meant to give you a shout out and man behind the camera, but this is for you. He's from New York too, but I'm pretty sure his family descent is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like a father to me. Like I love that. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
He currently lives in Houston, Texas with my aunt, and they recently just got married.
Yeah, okay. So you've been you know, I just been here.
Yeah, you've literally been from coast to coast,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
like, I just been here, you
Yeah.
know. So that's tight. One of my dreams is to go to New York
New York is beautiful.
at least once.
Mhm.
I have Tim's. I own Tim's.
Oh my god, bro! I want to just walk down a strip and get $1 pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, just
I
that's
want
just
an
fantasy.
authentic New York hot dog stand hot dog.
Oh,
I
that's how you do it.
I
Yeah.
want him to yell at me because I asked for a hot dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like the whole is that experience real?
It kind of is.
No,
But
yeah.
I think the funny thing is a lot of people who've never been to New York, they feel like the people there are snotty.
Uh-huh.
And in some ways, I guess if like you're living in New York in the 80s, yes, that's extremely true. But I guess in today's society, New Yorkers are actually like welcoming of like people who come from out of the country, from different
Out of state,
states.
yeah.
Yeah, New Yorkers are actually pretty cool.
But it is very, at least from what I've heard, because one of my friends went to New York for a trip, and,
Yeah.
and he said there are a lot of things that you'll see in movies that you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, that just happened in real life.
Yeah.
He said he was like across the street, and this guy was trying to sell his mixtape,
Right.
and then the dude was like, "No, I'm good, bro. I ain't got no money." And then the whole way was like, "Fuck you, then get the fuck out of here. What the fuck you doing over here?" You know, so like that
Yeah.
type of it, like encounter, you see that in movies, and you're like, "Okay, they're exaggerating."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's like that.
Have
one
you
of my good friends' dad. Basically, yes, a lot of films are filmed in New York. One of my good friends' fathers was practically literally inches away from the Joker set.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
while they were filming?
yeah. I literally saw
crazy.
Joaquin Phoenix run across the street.
It, imagine you're walking by, you know, trying to get your $1 pizza,
Yeah.
and then you see just the staircase scene.
Just vibing
Yeah.
on the staircase.
Yeah.
You know that you can go to that staircase, but it's so crowded now. It's such an attraction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You can't even
yeah.
But
Everybody's just the song is just on loop for some reason.
literally speakers are in the bushes. And
yeah.
stuff.
My uncle works as an exterminator. He used to work as one in New York, but now he resides in Texas. And one of the houses he was told to do errands in was, surprise, John Leguizamo's house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, famous actor.
Oh shit.
Mhm. And he told me that he also went to Ben Stiller's parents' house.
Tight.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
He's been in contact with a few celebrities, like both of them, well, his parents, not actually Ben Stiller, unfortunately.
But the association, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's gonna give you huge props at like Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna be like,
Honestly.
oh my god, dude! Just imagine being like John Stamos' plumber.
Well, all that story's telling me is that John Stamos and Ben Stiller's family had bugs in their house.
And
so
then-
Yeah.
gross.
Don't wanna, do you really want to associate with
Yeah,
that?
do you really want? Are you really proud of that? I'm just kidding. Okay, well, Eli, how was your upbringing? Like your childhood? Like what was it? How was that for you?
I had a really engaging childhood. When I moved to California, that's when I started making friends because I had like 0 friends other than my family
Yeah.
in New York because I was so tiny. I was like 4 years old when I moved out to San Diego. But then I met my cousin. His name is JC, and we would practically go to his house like weekly. I'd spend the night at his place. See, his aunt Carol is like, shout out to you, Carol. She's like an amazing woman. His grandma Jenny and his mom Joanna. You all are amazing people. Like, and I miss you dearly. I hope I can see you again sometime. But yeah, they were like basically some of my like newer family when I lived in California. One of my best friends that lived in my complex was Karen or Kieran. We had like a lot of things in common. He loved Pokemon. I liked Pokemon, not to his extent.
Yeah.
He would come over to my house and we would game. Every now and then we would probably like watch like movies.
Yeah.
We'd go outside and like play and fuck around, like do
Just
like
do
kid
normal,
shit.
normal kid shit. Yeah.
What do you think were one of the most influential pieces in your childhood that I think maybe you carry on today?
That is an amazing question. One that I cannot stop thinking about was when I first went to the Walk of Fame and I stood on top of Michael Jackson's star.
Yeah.
I felt powerful.
Did you hit the hee hee?
He did.
The inside of me did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I did
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
inside.
I felt powerful. I was like, wow. And then it was several years later when I found out Michael Jackson actually has not one but 2 stars on the Walk of Fame.
And speaking of Michael Jackson, did you guys see his autopsy report and the pictures?
Yeah.
That were it's crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like an
believe.
alien.
Yeah.
Alien. Did you hear that theory that
He's alive.
that he's alive?
Yeah.
But he's just a burn victim now.
Dave.
Is that his name?
What's the name?
Dave.
That was the name.
There's gonna be a biopic of him sometime next year. Actually, kind of like what they did with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, absolutely should be.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you cast?
Me.
Oh, they're actually. Believe it or not, they're actually.
Blackface.
Hey man. No man. Just give me the Jerry curl. You know.
They're actually casting Michael Jackson's nephew. I think his name is Jafar Jackson.
Okay.
He actually kind of looks like him.
Oh
Yeah?
shit.
Yeah.
What stage of Michael?
Teens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like 70s Michael.
Oh,
That's
shit.
crazy. Do you think they'll cast multiple people throughout the movie, just to like really?
I don't know. It just depends on how far.
Either they
they're going
would
into
do
legacy.
that, or they would do makeup effects on him to make him look like older.
I like the way you said it. Just older Michael.
So Eli, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Who or what inspires you on and off of your projects?
Well, I have like on and off of my projects, I have like celebrities. I have people that I hold dearly to me, like friends. Some of my best friends. Andres is like my number one.
Where is he at? You should have brought that motherfucker.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, I wish.
Should have
He
been a part of your
unfortunately works
posse.
today. Yeah, the Holy Trinity. I'd say, like the friends that I hold like closest, dear to me, like helps me keep going forward, are Andreas, his girlfriend, Alex, Risa, Abram, Amarani. Like, I love you guys. My mother, my sister, my little brother. I didn't mention this, but a quarter of my family is also from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's an island in the Caribbean area near
nice.
South America.
Dang,
yeah,
that's nice.
that's actually where my mom and my grandma and one of my aunts are from.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Spread out throughout the globe,
Yep.
Damn, man.
just conquering as
We
you
gotta
go.
catch
Yeah.
up. We gotta catch up. We gotta
Spread the seed. Just,
we gotta
just
start going.
But yeah, love you all. And as far as celebrities go, there's multiple people I look up to. Like Michael Jackson's one of them. We talked about him.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick are 2 of them. Because like Steven Spielberg showed me that movies like aren't just an experience, but they're life. I guess.
Yeah.
Like they're real in a way because they came from someone's like unholy imagination, like in a good way, obviously. And Stanley Kubrick is kind of the same thing. Although I think he has like a greater vision only because there's literally no other director like him. He's like the pioneer director of S-tier filmmaking. Like when I watch his films like The Shining or 2001: A Space Odyssey, Full Metal Jacket, Clockwork Orange, they're all like extremely like relevant, especially in like today's day and age. The directing in each movie is like mind-boggling, especially 2001. That's like one of the 2 movies, that and Mulholland Drive, where I've watched a movie and nearly felt like translucent within the film, like almost hypnotized.
Oh shit.
Yeah. If a film can like do that to me, I have such love for it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wish I had that much that inspired me. No, you got a lot of good. That's some good stuff.
yeah, the list went on and on.
Yeah.
I just, I just got to shit the next day.
Yeah, I just
Don't want to die constipated. So, that's what gets me up in the morning.
Yeah, literally.
Imagine that feeling of that you need to shit for the rest of like all eternity.
Ugh,
That would suck.
imagine.
Eli, What are some of the most gratifying moments that you've had throughout your life, both in all your projects that you've done and in your own personal life? Could you please inform us of one of those moments that made you feel like, hurrah?
Let's see. Film and personal life.
Huzzah!
One of the most gratifying moments of my
Hooray!
There's so many.
This man's a freaking idiot.
There's so many when it comes to like me getting into film. There's so many. Like, would you like to name like one of my moments of my projects, or just like one of my inspirations?
Both. One of the moments that you look back on and you're just like, that this is the most proudest I've been and this is the most happiest I've been, both in like all your projects and in your personal life.
Okay.
Like, what are some of those obstacles that you've had to come pass by and you felt great about?
I'd say one of the greatest accomplishments of the film aspect was some of the reception I got from Man Behind the Camera. I mentioned it before, but like there was one specific comment that caught my eye in which someone said, "This is how you do like an indie documentary," and they even went out of their way to like have me suggest this to a film festival.
Yeah, to put it in a film
festival.
festival.
And I was like, oh, that made my day.
I like that one.
Yeah, that made the world to me.
That's a good feeling.
It is.
It's a good feeling.
It really is.
Having people like love what you do and everything.
Think that it's worthy of being, put up with other things that I'm sure like you look at those indie festival films, like those are things to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, could you imagine someone was like, we're gonna put your song on the
radio,
the Christmas classics next year.
Christmas radio.
Yeah, like you'd be like, oh shit,
radio.
So I get that. Okay, I get it.
Would you ever distribute your not distribute, but put your thing up on those indie festivals? Is that a goal of yours?
I would. Yeah, and I actually have.
You have?
I actually have. It was at the Tucson Film Festival. I want to start submitting at a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do want to start submitting at a lot more. Maybe a couple of out of states, but like nearby ones.
What film did you put up on there?
It was Man Behind the Camera.
Did it get good reception?
They got back to me and they said that it had a lot of potential. Like they really like dug the in-depth analysis of the history of film. The only problem was it was competing with a lot of other projects.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the only problem, and that's why they couldn't accept it.
You just keep resubmitting it every freaking month to the end of time.
Right.
I know you've worked on a lot of projects, but is there any dream projects or even collaborations that you might want to do in the future? Like, where are you shooting for?
Let's see. Dream collaborations. Someone that I would really love to collaborate with is Chris Duckman.
Yeah.
Sometime. Yeah, like he knows his shit. Like, he really does. I've watched his videos since 2014, 15, I want to say. He's one of the my inspirations on why I actually wanted to get into film. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What was your other question?
That's a good question.
What are you shooting for?
Well, yeah, what are you shooting for?
Shooting for?
Like, what type of goals do you have for your content moving forward? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
I do definitely want to try my hardest to get my presence out there. Whether it's through spread the word, like send through individuals or like companies that I think will sponsor me. I just want to get my name out there. Yeah, sure. Even though I want to strive for Hollywood, I'll keep trying daily. Even if I don't get there, I'm still gonna do films.
You're still gonna make this, yeah. And we're in a perfect day and age where that's possible,
right?
Like, you don't understand how many people just can do what they love, and there still be a crowd for it, and it not be in the NBA, in Hollywood, in on the Grammys.
Yeah. And when it comes to films, the more projects you make and put out, the higher chance you actually have of someone piquing someone's interest and them reaching it, and then having them reach out to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard about this, but the A24 distributed film Talk to Me was made by two YouTubers. Two YouTubers sat down for about 3 to 4 years, made the script for it, and they premiered it in a festival, and it got picked.
I think it was Raka.
Yeah, the Raka twins.
Yeah.
And it got picked up by A24, and they have full creative liberty, and it's one of the best hitting movies of the entire year last year.
Yes, I agree.
And, it's like you said, you can go in the industry route or you can go independent wise and then just build your name off of there. There's so many
100%.
independent projects that people love and people support even more than they support the industry sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So, Eli.
Yeah.
Got some rapid fire questions. I just want to know your thoughts on them really quick.
Okay.
First one. How do you feel about superhero films and how they are creative? I know there's a lot of prestigious not actors. Well, there might be some actors, but directors who kind of have that bad taste in their mouth when it comes to how superhero movies are filmed these days, especially with a lot of green screen, things like that. How do you feel about them?
I am actually glad you asked me this question. I know, like Voltaire talked to me about like Martin Scorsese hating the MCU.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. It's just misunderstood. It's just they're not his type of films. Martin Scorsese says superhero movies aren't necessarily cinema.
Is he wrong?
Yes and no. It's kind of hard. It's like a 50-50. But I'm obviously not going to shit on Martin Scorsese because like he's like a master at his craft. Like he knows
for sure.
his shit.
That's the thing that's like hard to argue.
You want to
with
talk
those
about
types of
someone
people.
who actually hates superhero films? Francis Ford Coppola, the director of the Godfather movies, Apocalypse Now. He hates them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He despises them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I'm not gonna shit on him either because like
They're still
the
films
Godfather
at the end of the
like
day.
that's like highly ranked on like. If you go on IMDb right now, I think The Godfather is like number 1 or number 2 on highest rated movies of all time.
It might be number 1.
Yeah, I think it's between that or The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah,
I think it's number 1. I think I saw something.
even though I don't fully agree with like Francis Ford Coppola saying that superhero films are so naggy
Yeah.
and not like they don't like give out any important value whatsoever. I think that's like false. But I'm not gonna hate the guy because like I still love Francis Ford Coppola and I will continue to love him.
Yeah.
But as superhero films go in general, I think it really just is dependent on what viewer you are.
Yeah.
Because there are the viewers who just want to have a nice, fun popcorn flick, and the viewers who want to be captivated and analyze the living hell out of a story or like characters. I'm both. I'm not just one certain thing. That's why I don't consider myself a critic. I'm just a cinephile. But yeah,
What a file?
a cinephile.
Okay.
A person who really loves cinema. That's a term.
Hey, man, I just want to cover all bases, okay?
Next one. Do you have any hot movie takes? Hot takes for a movie?
Really a hot take. I do not like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
No?
No.
No?
never seen the
people
movie.
are gonna people might lynch me for this because I know it's considered a cult classic. I could not sit through it. It was very predictable. The acting was really sloppy. The odd thing is it's from the same writer of the first Scream.
Yeah.
And I freaking love Scream.
Yeah.
Apparently he wrote this script before the first Scream though.
Oh,
It
that's
came out
fine.
it came out after Scream though.
That is.
So I guess that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it was one of those 90s teen slasher films that I did not care for. I don't even remember a single character's name.
I'm finding it hard to remember the name, but I did fuck with the movie. I did like it.
I can
I liked it because I was a
respect
kid.
Yeah.
So it was just another slasher movie.
that. The scene that took me
You
out.
insert yourself in the movie.
Yeah.
What'd I do?
I was adopting the personality of the coolest character, you know,
Yeah.
in the movie.
The scene that took me out of it was the scene where I think they hit someone with a car or a truck. I think so. And they were getting ready to throw the body in the river. But I'm like, you guys know the guy is still clearly alive. Like, he's not completely dead. What the hell are y'all doing? Like he was still breathing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what kind of pissed me off. Like,
Hold on, I got one more question. Last one.
Last rapid fire?
Yeah. If you personally can remake a movie, what would it be?
that is a very good question. What genre would you like to see?
Any genre.
Oh.
What's one that you would want to do personally for you?
And I would have to be really careful with my answers because there are quite a handful of classic films that I think deserve to be untouched. Like I'm one of those guys who are picky when it comes, like I can be like very mean when it comes to remakes, specifically horror film remakes.
Okay.
But let's say if I wanted to remake a movie, I'd say Cujo.
Okay.
I like the movie. It terrified the fuck out of me when I was a kid. Pardon that. We're probably gonna have to censor that.
Oh, no. We cuss all the time here, bro. That's, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Pussy. So So yeah, Cujo was kind of scary, but it was
Bitch, fuck.
yeah. See, but
It gave me nightmares of like freaking big hound dogs mauling me to death.
yeah, I had dogs all my life, so I wasn't really scared of Cujo as much as other people were.
Yeah.
Because I knew I knew how to take a dog down. You know.
I
Yeah.
remember
What dog do you think you can like beat in hand-to-hand combat?
Most of them.
Most of
really
them.
I think so.
maybe not a Rottweiler though.
They can fuck you up. Don't
Yeah.
I will get hurt.
Yeah,
But I think I can kill it.
me too. Punch it like a couple times in the eye, curb stomp the bitch.
I just
you're gone.
grab the bottom of its mouth and it doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they get all confused and then.
but what if they like bite
You ever see
down?
King Kong where he rips the T-Rex?
Oh, yo, that'd be sick to a chihuahua. Just
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, the funny thing about that is I actually heard several years back that they were going to do a remake of Cujo, but in a way that I was not on board with. It was called CUJO, and it stands for Canine Unit Joint Operator. And I'm like, this is a freaking AI thing.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
this?
That'd been
Like-
Robot Cujo.
And
could you take on a robot?
No.
the
dog?
thing that I found the scariest of the original film, the dog wasn't necessarily bad. It spiraled into an uncontrollable monster because it was bitten by a rabid bat.
Oh,
And
the
once
rabies,
and once an animal catches rabies, it practically becomes a different type of animal. And once it's too late, like there's nothing you can really do about it. Yeah. And even the book is like worse in terms of like being depressing. Like, I don't know if there's anyone who's seen both the movie and read the book, but the spoiler alert for the book, the kid actually dies in the story.
Nice.
And he lives in the movie. They were actually going to have him die in the movie, but they thought it would be a little too dark. He dies from a heart attack because him and his mom are trapped in the car while Cujo's trying to get in. And it's not like you could just like tell him to stop. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. So
I
something that big of
wouldn't
a
fight
threat.
a rabies dog either.
Oh yeah,
I'm not fighting a rabies dog.
Because once you get bit, you got it too.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you
Where
gotta.
you can get a tetanus shot?
That's for rust. You have to go get an actual rabies shot, and there's no guarantee. I mean, maybe now
Yeah.
there might be a incubation period, but yeah, back then, I'm not fighting a rabies dog.
But yeah, seeing a man's best friend, especially if it's like a companion very close to you, turn on like into like some kind of like uncontrollable monster. I think that's like the stuff of nightmares right there.
Okay, Eli, I have one
Oh my
quick
gosh.
question for you. You being a director, right? Being in charge of everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think has been one of the most difficult things being on set? What kind of obstacles and difficulties have you had to overcome, both on just strictly technical things like working with cameras and stuff like that, and being in charge of a whole crew?
That's a good question. I'd say a few of our difficult aspects were honestly finding a few people to fill in like certain roles. Yeah, I think that was some of the most difficult parts about it.
Because you work in like smaller groups, right?
Ensembles weren't the big issue, but like a few of the main character roles, like I was like, who should I snag for like these positions? Like, and then the story even has like a central antagonist, a central villain, and I was like, oh man, I gotta like grab someone. Like, there were a few filming dates that were kind of like rough for us, only because like some things would happen in the background, and I would be completely understanding about it. Like, stuff happens in life, like, you know, we work our way around stuff, and we benefit.
Yeah.
Even if like there are moments like where we can get stressed out at times, we're a family. Like, I don't just like have my actors on set to be like, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. You do that, we're family. Like we love each other.
That's how we are, you know. We're family.
Yeah, but
we love each other.
when stuff goes wrong behind the scenes here and a lot of things does, oh my god, do I want to kill everybody on site? Jesus.
He beats me, guys.
No.
Oh my god.
You're not
Send
supposed
help.
to say that. You're not
Send
supposed to say that.
I did want to give out a special birthday shout out to Leo. Today's his birthday. He has involvement in 27th Avenue.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Like
Birthday.
today
Yeah,
specifically?
as this recording is happening, it's
Okay.
Leo's birthday.
All right. Happy late birthday, man.
And shout out to everyone who's involved in the 27th Avenue project.
Shout out to anyone who's
Everyone.
out there on 27th
Main ones,
Ave in general.
main ones,
honestly.
you know who you are. Andreas, Amirani, Risa. I'm gonna mention like Leo again because happy birthday, man. Like,
Yeah, shout out to anybody who puts in that work and effort on these smaller scale projects, because we talk about this off camera, but it's really, really difficult for you basically to beg someone for the time and energy for them to follow with your project and with like little to no compensation.
Right.
It's a really difficult thing. So for the people out there that do that support one's vision and support one's cause, it's almost all the time it's immediate. It's like
It's magical.
And I feel like that's some of the best projects that come out when you're all doing it for the love, because all of them are doing it for, like, you guys love each other, you guys love what you do. Like, that creates a lot of good content, as opposed to even just paying people to do shit. It's a job at that point. This is a passion, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
Eli answered that beautifully, but I have one last question for you today. For everybody out there that feels inspired in any creative realm or just in their personal life, what's one thing that you can suggest to them? Any advice or things that you yourself...
This is the question I was waiting for.
That you wanted, that you yourself wish you heard.
This is exactly what I was waiting for, because like when I get responses of like people like being inspired by me, like my aunt tells me that she's inspired by me. That's a lot. And my grandma, she was brutally honest about my documentary. She said it was extremely well crafted. And it just shows that no matter like how big or little you do it, just go for it. Like, just go for it. If you wanna, it doesn't even have to be like something film related, like in my league. If you wanna like do track, be a teacher, go to college, if you wanna do something, go for it. Like, just do like something to like get in that league. Whether it's big steps, little steps, you're eventually gonna run after like walking. Like, it's not like the other way around.
That's great. You're eventually gonna run at some point. Yeah, because you never know what's on the other side of that track.
Right.
I'm inspired.
Right. I'm gonna go run right now. Actually,
I'm running. I got mine. As soon as it's done, I'm out.
Okay. With that, Eli, beautiful. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me. Like immediately when I got the text on Instagram, I'm like, yes, I want to do this.
No, but thank you. You've been a great guest, and this is your camera right here. Go ahead and plug anything that you might want to say. I know we mentioned your 27th Avenue project. Is there anything else that you want to plug in?
Instagram, your
anything?
Facebook thing, whatever you want
let's
to plug
see.
in.
This camera right here. Go ahead and tell the
We'll
lady.
have a pop-up. Instagram right here. Facebook right here. You guys want to follow me?
Make it as difficult as you can for him.
If you guys want to follow me and see more that I do, definitely do not miss anything I post. If you guys want to see everything I post on Facebook, definitely add me as a friend, because only people who follow me will see half of the stuff I post. But if you add me, like friend request me, you'll see everything I post.
And make sure to go check out the YouTube channel that's going to be linked right here, as well as the top link in the description. Go check out his projects, guys. Go check out The Inner, Man Behind the Camera, and tune into the 27th Avenue.
Yes, it will be on that channel soon, and I do want to hold a screening event for this in Scottsdale in November 2024. Once we get further into filming, I will have an official date in November, and I will be sending out virtual invitations that will be completely free. I am renting this theater room. So these
if you ain't on the list, you ain't on the list.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you.
Matt Smooth is going to be there.
I'm there.
I can't wait to have you. Hopefully the opportunity comes where we get to have you on again, so you can fully promote this screening.
Yeah.
You guys heard it first. Follow him on all the socials to get a special invitation for that screening.
Hey, don't forget, if you ever need an overly sensitive antsy teen role and a above average chick magnet role,
I'm gonna come to y'all.
Hey, you know who to go to. Just saying, keep that in mind.
My dream is to have like one speaking role in the beginning of a film and immediately die.
Yeah,
in the worst way possible.
You can do that. You can have us do something and kill us off.
Yes, immediately.
Just saying.
Oh, man.
Just throw it in
because
there.
we're really mediocre.
We're cool with it. And we can die some nasty ways. I'm cool with it. Just let us know. But thank you again, Eli. Thank you so much.
Of course,
man.
thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to close it out there.
Yep. This has been the Elijah Butler interview. Incoming prospect of film everything.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and tune in to next week.
All right.
Bye
everybody.
bye.
See the couples all the time. All I think about is you and I. Christmas lights shining bright, just like those ocean eyes.
Coffee.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah, coffee.
Oh, Paul! Paul!